Right from the start, the fuel in your tank doesn't magically show up at the injectors with the right pressure. There's an intermediary component doing critical work behind the scenes, a feed or transfer pump. In fuel injection systems based on the VE architecture, this pump is absolutely essential. It ensures a steady, pressurized supply of fuel to the high-pressure injection system. Without it, the engine's behavior becomes erratic, stumbles, delays, even non-starts. Let's dive into how it works, what goes wrong, and what to look for when replacing it, focusing on the model 0961402030, sometimes also listed under a longer catalog number like 1,467,030,308. Though the numbers differ, what matters most are the physical and performance specifications. Start with the roll. This pump sits between the fuel tank, and pre-filter or suction side, and the high-pressure pump. It draws fuel from the tank, raises it to a modestly higher pressure, and delivers it to the injection pump so that the high-pressure pump never starves. The high-pressure pump expects a constant, positive feed. If it's starved, even momentarily, you'll see pressure collapse, misfires, or the engine might stop. Mechanics inside are deceptively simple yet demanding. The drive often comes from the engine's camshaft, intermediate shaft, or a gear train. Within, vanes, or sometimes pistons/sliding elements, trap fuel and push it forward. Key to reliable operation are tight internal clearances, well-finished surfaces, low internal leakage, robust materials, and precise machining. The pump must handle differing demands, at idle, minimal consumption, under heavy load, surging demand, all while resisting issues like cavitation or vapor lock. When a pump wears, symptoms appear gradually but get worse. Here are the telltale signs. Hesitant cranking or delayed starts, especially when cold. Fuel pressure gauge readings lower than spec or fluctuating. Engine surging, sputtering, or hesitation under acceleration. Excessive smoke emission under load, if downstream systems overcompensate. Distinct noises or whining near the pump or in adjacent fuel lines. Because fuel delivery is a chain of components, filters, lines, injectors, faults in the feed pump are sometimes misdiagnosed. But ignoring the feed pump can do many repair on the high-pressure side. When selecting a replacement, matching the 0961402030 designation is a starting point, but it isn't sufficient. What really matters? Inlet and outlet port diameters and thread types. Orientation of ports relative to mounting. Drive coupling type, shaft spline, gear, or eccentric. Mounting hole layout and footprint. Flow rate and pressure capability. Material quality, tolerances, internal design. A visually similar pump with mismatched specs might cause pressure collapse, leaks, or alignment stress. The installation process is critical. Never run the new pump dry, prime the fuel side and bleed air. Replace all seals, gaskets, and any soft or brittle hoses. Clean mating surfaces. Use correct torque and tightening sequence to avoid distortion or leaks. After installation, monitor pressure across operating regimes, idle, mid-throttle, full throttle, and listen for irregularities or noise. One important nuance, the number 1,467,030,308 feed pump often corresponds to the same design as 0961402030, depending on supplier or region. The key is verifying dimensions and specifications rather than fixating on catalog numbers. Suppose you have a 6-cylinder diesel engine with a VE injection system, and you suspect the feed pump is failing, maybe due to difficulty starting or load hesitation. You acquire a replacement 0961402030 unit. Before fitting, inspect port orientation, spline or gear coupling, and mounting alignment. Depressurize and drain the existing system, remove the old pump, clean block surfaces. Mount the new pump using the proper torque spec and pattern. Reconnect lines, prime slowly, bleed air. Start gently, monitor fuel pressure. You'd want something like, for example, 3 bar at idle, 5 bar under moderate throttle, and perhaps 7 bar near full load. Note, values vary per engine. Drive under load and monitor stability. If pressure holds steady with no stutters or dips, your installation is successful. If pressure falls under acceleration, check for internal leakage, misalignment, or specification mismatch. Some additional practical tips: store a spare pump sealed and dry prior to installation. Internal components are sensitive to contamination. Always relieve pressure before disconnecting fuel lines. Wear